friends, welcome to my new video that is on Service Selection Board, SSB as you call it. This is the next step when you clear the CDS written examination, you are called for the SSB. SSB is basically done in 5 days. I'm going to talk about each one of the day and each one of the tests which are conducted in the SSB. Let's start the video. On the day 1, the first step is the reporting. So when you report to the MCO, that is Movement Control Office, over there you are generally called in the early morning, that is around 5 or 6. Over there what happens is basically your documents are checked and verified from your call letter. From there you're taken to SSB center in a bus. Next step, when you reach there, you're basically told to settle down in an organized fashion, and there is an introductory lecture which was given by one of the officers there, and from there you're told about the different tests which comes under screening, right? So with this, screening starts. Generally in every regular batch the strength can vary from 100 to 200. Though I have appeared in regular batch and absentee batch as well. In the absentee batch, the strength can vary, can goes up to basically 1500 or 1600 as well, because in my step that batch was so huge, and after screening in, only 66 candidates were screened in, right? So since the batch size was huge, so that's why the screening in proportion was also high. So but in general the regular batch size is 100 to 200 only. So on the screening day there are various tests on which you'll be assessed. So first is OIR, that is Officer Intelligence Reading, which can be verbal, not verbal. Then is PP and DT, that is Picture Perception and Description Test. And on the PP and DT, the continuous test is the group discussion. So let's take each one of them one by one. In the OIR, Officer Intelligence Rating, as you can see here, there's a picture which I have given in the video, which says there will be 2 blocks and similar. Basically this picture is of single block only from the 2 sides. So you'll be asked what number will be opposite to 2. So as you can see here, 2 is written here. So what will be there on the opposite side? So you have to tell. It's very simple. It's very logical. So when you see what is there, if you practice such questions, you'll be able to answer it with better speed. For the practice part, I've put up 2 pictures of the books. One is SSB OIR, and the other is basically OIR test and PPDT. New edition. Basically, this is one by SSB Crack, one by Ariant, and there are many publishers which are publishing their books on SSB. So you can follow any one of them. All books are good. Basically, all books talk about this one or the same thing. Moving on, the next test is PPDT, Picture Perception and Description Test. This test is very interesting. What happens is basically on the screen they'll show one picture, right? So picture, as you can see on the screen, picture can be, there are hundreds of pictures. You can search on Google, you'll be able to find it. So I'll just talk about the rules part, right? Basically for 30 seconds picture will be flashed on the screen, and you'll be given 3.5 minutes to write a story about it. Now story can be anything from your life experiences. If it can be anything, it can be like made on the spot as well, right? And you can practice making stories looking at the picture when you're preparing for SSB. So this is it. And after you have written your story, you'll be called for the group discussion. This is the general pattern how group discussions happen, and where I have written panel, So there'll be 2 or 3 officers will be sitting here, who will be assessing you on the group discussion part. So before the group discussion starts, each one of you will have to narrate your story. Maybe while sitting, or you can stand up and narrate your story, but you will not be given your paper where you have written your story. So you have to narrate without looking at your written story, right? You got my point? And your voice should be clearly audible, and you should not use much hand gestures over there, and you should be very very confident about your story, whatever you've written. And then starts the group discussion. Basically, I've attended many SSBs, and in most of the SSBs, uh, most of the time when group discussion starts, everybody starts to give out their own points. They don't even listen to the others what they're saying. My recommendation would be to try to be calm and composed there, and as and when you got an opportunity to speak, just give out your point. That is the best way to do the group discussion. And if you have given 1 or 2 points, and if you have supported somebody, and you've successfully delivered your point, just be rest assured that you are screened in. With this, screening in ends, and out of all the candidates, post lunch you will be given the result, and those who are screened in, they'll be allotted new chest numbers. So the first chest number which was given at the time when you arrived at the basically SSB center, and the second new chest number after you are screened in, you'll be given a new chest number, like that. So day 2 starts with psychology test. Again, on this day you'll be called early morning, not early morning as such, as in like 7 or 8ish, post breakfast. And there are various tests which are involved in this psychological test, as you can see on the screen. The first one is TAT, that is thematic appreciation test. Next is WAT, that is word association test. SRT, situation reaction test, and self description. About each one of the tests we'll discuss in further detail. So let's start with the TAT, thematic apperception test. Basically, this test is widely used as a projective test for assessment. It is designed in such a manner to reveal your individual's perception of interpersonal relationships, and it is one of the most interesting part, which is developed by Morgan and Murray in 1935. Though these things are not very very relevant to your SSB, I'm just giving a little bit of history about it. So what Morgan and Murray says, when you are presented with ambiguous stimuli, so you reveal your own personality, basically, right? So what happens in this picture is, in this TAT, thematic apperception test, in this you are shown 11 pictures, as you can see on the screen. So you'll be shown 11 pictures one after another. For every picture will be flashed for 30 seconds, and similarly as we did it in PP and DT, picture perception and description test, same applies here. So picture will be shown to you for 30 seconds, and you will be given 3.5 minutes to write a story about it. And when the 3.5 minutes ends, another picture will be flashed on the screen. After 10 pictures, the 11th picture will be blank. So there will be nothing on the screen. You just have to write a story about it, about like thinking in your mind, and writing a story. Maybe it may be about yourself, about your friends, about your life, about your parents, whatever it is, whatever comes to your mind. Try to make it interesting, and this blank picture story matters a lot, mark my word, right? So this is all about TAT. Let's move on to WAT, the next step. That is words association test. Rules are really simple here. On the screen, words will be flashed, and for every word you'll be given 15 seconds to read and write your stimuli. So there is very very less time to think. So whatever comes to your mind, just write it. People will tell you, people will try and train you that you should write positive thing, you should write this, you should write that. Don't listen to anyone. It is a personality test, it is a psychology test. Whatever is coming to your mind, just try to write it as it is. Don't try to manipulate yourself, don't try to manipulate others, right? This will not going to help you, because they have created this test in such a manner that you can't fool them. There will be like a different mixture of words. For example, advice, father, friends, kick. Words like there are endless words, and any word can be there, but every word has a meaning to it, every word has something attached to it. So whatever word is there, they have put it on the screen. It is on purpose, right? And there can be negative words as well, like injury, accident, cry. Try to be positive about whatever your stimuli is, but you can't control it, because words, for every word you are given only 15 seconds, you have to read and write as well, write response as well. Try to be very very crisp with your words, with your answers, because if you are writing long sentences, you won't be able to complete the test. Try to attempt all the words. This is what is advised in the at the time of SSB as well. I was able to do 50 plus words each and every time when I went for the SSB, and when I got recommended as well, uh, I could do around 50 to 53 words that time as well. Moving on, next is SRT, that is situation reaction test. Again, rules are very very simple. You'll be given 60 situations, and for this you'll be given 20-30 minutes. It varies from SSB to SSB. In few of my SSBs I was given 20 minutes, in few I was given 25, in few I was given 30 minutes as well. So situations can be very very simple, as in, like, for example, you along with your friends are out on a camping, and suddenly you realize that there is a snake in your tent, and what will you do, right? Another situation would be, you're going with your father, and you see some accident happens in front of you, what will you do, right? So such situations can be there, very very simple. Just whatever comes to your mind, your stimuli, you have to write in the response section. Moving on is the SD, that is self description. So as you can see on the screen, these are the questions which will be there on the self description question paper. So write, learn it, practice it, do whatever. Don't sit there and think what you have to write. Practice it, learn it. So these are the few things which they'll be asking, what your parents, your guardians, friends, teachers think about you, right? And what is your self opinion about yourself, basically. And the next is, what are the qualities that you would like to inculcate or develop. So this is self description, very very simple. I hope so far I'm clear about the things. If you have any doubt, so maybe you can write in the comment section below. I'll try and answer each one of your questions. Moving on, with this basically the psychology test ends. Self description is the last test, and after that you are free. And next day starts with, next day is very very important, that is GTO, ground testing officer. As you can see here, I've made a table. There are basically 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 tests, 9 tasks are expected out of you to perform, and I've given a photograph as well, wherein there is a candidate who is putting a plank with the help of another boy, and the third person is also standing there helping, maybe guiding, maybe ordering something, so something like that. So let's take each one of them one by one. So first is group discussion. group discussion, as you all know, there'll be a topic, and you'll be told to discuss amongst yourself. The GTO will be sitting onto one side, and he'll be, mark my word, he'll be listening to whatever you guys are saying, whatever each one of you are saying. He'll be writing down your thinking, your qualities, whatever he'll be able to assess you. So there'll be two top group discussions, one after another, and topics can vary from current affairs to general knowledge, like for example GST, foreign affairs, India's low-fees policy, India-China relations, Jan Dhan Yojana. There are many basically things are happening in our environment, and we should be thorough with the latest news, latest affairs which are happening in the country. The discussion is very, very simple. My recommendation, my tips would be here is try to be proactive in each one of the tasks. Don't sit idle and wait for a turn. Try to speak, try to give out your point. If you have some good points, try to give out. And whenever you got an opportunity to speak, try to be very, very polite and calm and composite, and don't rush when it comes to speaking. Be very, very careful with your words. Use parliamentary language, never use unparliamentary language. These are few of the tips which you have to follow in each one of the tasks throughout your SSB time in the SSB center. So next task comes as group planning exercise. Very, very important. In this, basically a problem will be given to you, maybe on the map or a sand model, and it can be from military tactics or general problem, and you are expected to basically do certain things. For example, first of all you'll be given blank papers, blank sheets, and you'll be asked to write a plan, like how to solve that problem. And then when each one of you will write down your solutions, that paper will be taken from you, and you'll be told to discuss amongst yourself and give out your basically solutions and come on to a collective solid solution, like whether maybe you can add up, you can take something from one, something from another, and you can mingle it up, and you can make a better plan basically, right? And at the end of it, maybe one person can be asked to stand and give out group plan with the help of a pointer and a map. So again, my tip or maybe my recommendation here would be to be proactive, and if you get a chance to give out the final plan, nothing like it, right? But at the same time, you should be very, very confident about your plan. You should not give another altogether different plan when you are standing and giving out the plan. It should be a collective plan, and it should be with the agreement from your team. So with this, we move on to the next task, that is progressive group task. As it goes by the name, progressive group task is nothing but a full group task in which your full complete group, maybe group of 10 or group of 7, 8, all complete team will be involved in it, and the GTO who is standing there will give you some hurdles, and he'll also be giving you some helping material so to cross that hurdle, right, as a team. And helping material can include wooden plank, rope, bucket, right? So these few things can be there, and if your team is able to cross that hurdle easily, he'll try to make it difficult. He'll say that certain thing is out of bound, you cannot touch it, you cannot stand on it, something like that, right? So because this was what happened during my time. We were able to complete all the hurdles in a very short span of time. All the complete team was so interactive and so intellectually sound, and we were able to give out innovative solutions, but very, very simple, like ground soldier types. and it was very very interesting. With this, let's move on to the other one. Next is half group task. It is similar to the progressive group task. The only difference is the group of that was earlier of 8, 9, 10 will be divided into two halves. So rest all things are same, and as a small group you are given some hurdles to cross and your tactics are checked. And similarly, most of the candidates, those who are not getting the opportunity to speak and to perform or to give ideas in the progressive group task, in half group task, since the strength is less, the candidates are less, so you will be given more opportunity to speak and to perform tasks, and your basically OLQs, that is as we call it, officer like qualities will be checked there. Moving on is the individual obstacle task. It is, as goes by the name, very very simple. In this, 10 obstacles will be there, and each obstacle will be marked 1 to 10, and marking represents the number of marks associated with the obstacle. Like if you are crossing 9 number obstacle, you will be awarded 9 marks. And similarly, if you cross all the obstacles, basically endeavor should be to complete all the obstacles before the time ends, so that you can accumulate the maximum number of marks, which helps you at the end in pushing your merit, right? Very very important, very interesting. And next is command task. Very very crucial and like important task here. So in this task, you will be made the commander to complete the task, and you'll be told to call 2 of your friends, maybe 2 of your colleagues in the group, from the group, and which can work as a subordinate or a helper in helping you to complete the command task. So you'll be the one who will be commanding. And this, few things which makes a difference is your communication skills. You should be very very clear with your orders. Your intellectual level should be good. Your IQ should be good. You should listen to the instructions very carefully given by the GTO, what he is expecting out of you. Your leadership, your bonhomie, team spirit, your behavior towards any problem will be checked here. And this is the time when you are the one who is assessed by the GTO, not your subordinates, right? So this is very very important task. And next is snake race. Again very interesting. In this, out of 30 to 40 candidates, there will be 3 to 4 groups which will be made, and you'll be told to hold a snake like structure and cross obstacles. There will be a group of obstacles in the sequence, and complete team has to cross the finish line basically. And before the starting of the race, you'll be told to finalize on a war cry for each team. Those who don't know what is war cry is the slogan or the Jaikara basically, as we call it, Bol Bajrang Bali ki Jai, and Jai Gorkhali, Ali Re Ali, and very famous from Kargil war, from Captain Vikram Batra, Ye Dil Mange More. So such kind of war cries are being finalized by each teams, and while crossing the obstacles, these teams keep shouting their war cries. It brings a lot of josh and team spirit. So this is the only purpose of the snake race. And next is lecture it, very very important. In this you have to pick up a slip from the box, and a topic will be written on the slip, and you'll be given 1 minute to prepare for the topic, to collect your thoughts, to organize it before giving out the lecturate. And for the lecturate you'll be given 3 minutes. After 2.5 minutes, bell will be rung by the GTO, and in the last 30 seconds you have to conclude as well. And topics can include current affairs, personality development, science, GK, basically static GK, current affairs, like any topic can be there. In my time I was given a topic which was related to science, that was biotechnology, and since I was aware of the subject, so I was able to basically speak about it, and my lecturate was really good. That's why I got selected there. And moving on, the next is FGT, that is final group task. Um, Basically, this is the last chance to prove your mettle. So, if you remember in my initial video, what I was telling you is that GTO started from progressive group task where the complete group was together, then half group task, then basically individual obstacle task, lecturate. From complete group, you were made to do tasks single, and then finally your group was brought together to do the final group task. This is the final test in the GTO section, and by this time enough opportunities are given to everyone to give out their best. And at the end of it, closing remarks are given by the GTO. Yeah, what it does basically, he might share some of his experiences to lighten up the mood and to motivate you, and to tell you like you must do good in the next test. So this is all about GTO task. With this, we come to the end of the GTO, and we come to the next day, that is day 4. The only thing which is left is interview. Basically, it's not the 4th day. Interview starts from the 2nd day itself, right? Since the batches of 40, every day around 10 to 12 candidates are interviewed by the president or the deputy president, and interview basically timings can vary from 15-20 minutes to maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hour. I was interviewed for 45 minutes, and the interview is more of a healthy discussion than an interview. In the beginning, interview starts with few questions about like personal questions. He tells you to tell about yourself, about your hobbies, education, your family, your interest areas, your passion. So kind of a rapid fire round is there, and then when you give out your details, he'll pick up one by one in detail. And if for example you talk about like you have interest in sports, he'll be asking you about the sports, which all games you play. If you say for example you played basketball, he'll ask you to which level you played. If you'll say I played at state level, he'll ask you about the rules and scorecards and different things to check and verify whether you are saying true or not. So with this, I would like to bring few important points here, which are very very important before you go for the SSB or specifically for the interview, because this is the time when you are meeting the president or the deputy president of the board, service selection board, and here you are there with him for like good time, 30, 40, 50 minutes, right? So your behavior, your professional behavior should be of highest order. Your the first impression is the last impression, right? So when you're going, you're wishing the interviewer, it should be of highest order. Your attire, your shirt, pants, shoes, it should be of like it should be clean, properly ironed, and no, and most important thing, be yourself. Many people come for the SSB. They come for the SSB after taking pre-SSB trainings. There are many SSB training coaching centers are there which provide you training for 14 days, 10 days, 7 days, like that. They charge you FT amounts. My recommendation would be, if you are going for training, nothing bad in it. If you are going for coaching, nothing bad in it. But at the end of the day, be yourself, because if you are made for defense forces, nothing can stop you. If you are not made for defense forces, nothing can take you in, right? You cannot manipulate the interviewer or the SSB people. The test is made in such a manner, in such a scientific manner, that you can't fool them around. So be yourself, be truthful, don't beat around the bush. Whatever question has been asked to you, be very very straightforward in answering it. Be respectful when you are answering the questions. Your body language, don't use gestures much, right? try to make eye contact, don't move your foot much, don't move your hands much, be logical in your answers, right? There is nothing they're going to ask you about uh, you know, some certain high level questions. They are going to ask you very simple question about yourself only. So be very logical and simple and straightforward. This is all about interview. As you pass, basically complete these 4 days, finally you'll be called for the conference. That is the final day. So in the conference, as per your chest number, you'll go inside, and all officers will be sitting in the uniform in the semicircle manner. So there'll be table in the center. There'll be president will be sitting, or the president of the board. On to the left, there'll be deputy president, and similarly, on to both sides, there'll be different officers who have assisted you in those 4 days or 5 days. The basically people will be candidates are asked about general questions, will be asked about your stay, like how was your stay in the SSB center, how was the food, is there any recommendation from your side, have you visited any places around, like I went to Allahabad for the SSB, and there were like 2 places I visited there. One was, if I remember, it was Chandrasekhar, that statue is there, very big, where he got martyred. And the second was, there was a museum which I visited, so I told them about it, and that was all about my conference. And these questions are asked, the question which I just discussed, these questions are asked only to those who are short in or short out, right? But there is a third category which is borderline case. Like out of 3 assessors from the interview, psychologist and GTO, maybe 1 or 2 are not fully satisfied with your performance, so they might grill you or ask you more questions in the conference room. And if you're able to justify your your caliber, and if you're able to give out answers, and if they are satisfied, then you're in, nothing like it. And if not, maybe next time you can try about it. So this is all about these 5 stages, 5 days, which I tried to explain each of the day and each of the test in detail. And with this I finish my video. I just would like to say at the end of it, if you have any doubts about the SSB, please feel free to write in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share the channel with your friends, so that it can help them as well to understand this pattern of SSB. Mark my words, this SSB is very simple. If you have it in you, there is nobody can stop you. And there is always a second chance. You can, if not in the first chance, maybe in the second chance, maybe in the third chance. But don't lose hope. Don't stop trying till you have the chances left. I know people who are through in 19th attempt, who are through in 11th attempt, who are through in 6th attempt, right? So there is a never ending process. If you have chances, you must apply for it. My best wishes are with you. If you need some help, please write in the comment section below. I'll be able to help you out. Thank you.